As we know, we only have a couple of weeks until the launch of the 2.2 update, which brings us the latest waifu, CANTARELLA. I know a lot of you are looking forward to getting this character, especially because she's the only new unit coming in the 2.2 update, as well as being rumored to be the best in-slot partner for Prelova. With all that said, in today's video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to prepare for CANTARELLA, her best teammates, weapons, echo sets, materials, and much more, so let's hop right onto the video. Kicking things off with the materials, and here we have all the materials we need in order to max out our CANTARELLA. Like always, we're going to need 2.2 million shell credits. We have the polygon cores, the helix that you're going to need. We're also going to need cleansing conch and seaside cendrillus, and we are going to need a brand new weekly boss mat from a boss that is going to be added in the 2.2 update. Now, these are all the materials you need in order to maximize your character, but I'm going to give you a quick website that is going to tell you all the mats you need to get her to specific levels. Now, I know that saying you need all these materials might be a little overwhelming. Well, I'm going to link this page in the description of the video, but you can come right here and check exactly how many materials you need for each one of the levels. And if you scroll down on this page, you will see that you can also check the skill attributes and stat enhancements you will be getting as you level up your skills. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, you will see that they have a calculator, so you know exactly how many resources you need to take them to very specific character levels, their skills to very specific levels. And as you can see right here, we're taking level 7 and level 70 for your character as a base formula because that's the most common place most people will be at. And as you can see right here, it tells you exactly how many things you need, and you can bring this all the way up to level 90, which is max character level currently, and it'll tell you exactly how many materials you need. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to add this here so people have ease of mind and they know exactly how many materials they need depending on the level they are. Moving over to the team compositions, let me talk to y'all a little bit about CANTARELLA. She's going to be a support / sub DPS with the abilities to heal, buff skill damage, and amplify havoc damage, all while offering coordinated attack capabilities. So this character truly does a lot. The thing with this character is that she's pretty much like Sesha that dropped before we got Carlotta, so her best in slot character is currently not out. There's a lot of speculations that the character that's going to be best with her is going to be Prelova. That's why I put it on here on the extra tab. But I will tell you, currently the top picks that go along with her kit are going to be Jinshi, Carlotta, and Havoc Rover. Now, the second picks are going to be Don Jin and Camellia, and you can also run Shang Li. Now, I do want to clarify, there's not a lot of difference when it comes to these characters. You can go ahead and run her with your Camellia because, you know, the Havoc damage buff and all that good stuff. You can go ahead and run her with Jinshi, Carlotta, but these are overall the characters that are going to be working best with her. Now, there might be other characters that end up doing really good work with this character, but overall, these are the ones that currently we know are sure bets to work best with your CANTARELLA. Moving over to her weapons, we have her best in slot, which is going to be her signature weapon, Whisper of the Sea. Now keep in mind, the information I'm about to tell you is subject to change. The weapon comes with 72% crit damage, and the ability increases attack by 12% within 10 seconds after casting the intro skill. When casting the Echo skill, you will gain 1 layer of Soft Dream. The same echo can only be triggered once and can be stacked up to 3 times that last for 10 seconds. If you switch to another character, the effect ends early. Now, each one of the layers has different bonuses. Layer 1 increases your normal attack damage by 40%. Layer 2 ignores the target's havoc resistance by 10%. And Layer 3, when Soft Dream ends early, your own normal attack damage bonus is increased by 40%, ignoring the target's havoc resistance by 10%. And lasting for 27 seconds, and if you switch to yourself, the effect ends early. Moving over to her second options, first off we have String Master, then we have Rhyme Draped Sprouts and Cosmic Ripples. These are all going to be solid options for her. Overall, they're pretty good weapons, so if you have her, you might not want to go for her signature weapon if you have some of these other weapons, if you're trying to save your currency. And the budget options are going to be Variation and Luminous Nymph. They're not bad, but they're very specific, and they don't really give her the full effect of what you're trying to achieve with her. Variation is always going to be a good weapon to pull on characters that are like sub DPS and support. It's not a bad weapon, but overall, the top 4 weapons are going to be her bread and butter. Moving over to her echoes, Cantarella is a character that you're going to be able to build in many different ways, depending on the role you want her to fill. If you're looking for a more DPS and Havoc-oriented Cantarella, you're going to want to use the Midnight Veil set. The 2-piece increases Havoc damage by 10%, and the 5-piece when outro skill is triggered, deal additional 480% Havoc damage to surrounding enemies considered outro skill damage, and grant the incoming Resonator 15% Havoc damage bonus for 15 seconds. Now, if you want to focus more around her coordinated attack, you're going to want to use the Empyrean Anthem set. The 2-piece increases energy regen by 10%, and the 5-piece increases the Resonator's coordinated attack damage by 80%, and upon a critical hit of coordinated attack, increases the active Resonator's attack by 20% for 4 seconds. Now, if you want something that's more global that works on almost any scenario and can buff anybody, you're going to want to go for the Moonlit Clouds. The 2-piece gives 10% more energy regen, and the 5-piece upon using outro skill increases the attack of the next Resonator by 22.5% for 15 seconds. Personally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going for the Moonlit Clouds. Now, I don't know if that's the best bet, but I do know that you can't go wrong with Moonlit Clouds. It's going to work in every scenario. It's going to buff anybody that you really put her with. And while yes, maybe the Midnight Veil set might be better if you really want to focus around the Havoc team, or the Empyrean build might be better if you really want to focus around the coordinated attack, we don't really know the extent of those abilities and how far they're going to take her character, whereas the Moonlit Cloud set is going to be really damn good, and if you need to change it to another character and in the future build, for example, the Midnight Veil, if you want to pair her up with maybe Perlova, you can go ahead and get the Moonlit Cloud set that you have on her and move it on to another character. Now, when it comes to the Echo stats, her main stats are going to want to be crit rate and crit damage depending on your substats. For the 3 costs, you're going to want to use energy regen or havoc damage. Once again, it depends on the build you're trying to achieve with her. For the 1 cost, attack percent, and for the substats, pretty much the same thing. Crit rate, crit damage, energy regen, attack percent, and basic attack percent. That's going to be the bread and butter when it comes to her main stats and her substats. Now, there is one more thing I want to show you guys, and this is how to go about getting extra resources so you can speed up your character's leveling. And the first place we're going to go to is Uncle Way. If you go over to Uncle Way, you will see that he sells several materials that are going to help you leveling up your characters, as you can see right here. And this is going to make everything so much easier. It might not be a whole bunch of them, but if you go out of your way, you can go ahead and buy yourself several of these items. And even if they're in the lower rarity, you will still use these and they will help you out a ton. So let's go ahead and buy some of these just to start getting ourselves set up. Our next stop where you can get some materials and make your grind a lot easier is going to be the Shi Fang Pharmacy. If you go over here and you talk to Coco, you will see that she sells a bunch of resources that you're going to need in order to level up your characters. So do be sure to come over here and talk to her in order to make your grind a lot easier. Our next stop is going to be the Point Shop. And over here you can buy a bunch of resources, as you can see, but if you go down to the bottom, you can also buy level up resources, and you can get quite a few of them. 60 of each to be precise. So you want to make sure you go out here and get these as soon as possible, especially because they're so cheap, and we have a whole bunch of these points that we can use in order to get these resources. And last but not least, we're going to go to the Tiger's Maw ore shop and talk to Shilang. And this dude right here is going to sell us some materials as well. Now, these materials do not refresh, or at least they haven't refreshed since the start of the game. But as you can see, you can get some nice little resources that are going to help you out leveling up your character. Another place you can come get some materials is the Still Wind Sundries. You're going to come talk to Vida right here. And as you can see, she has a bunch of materials that you're going to be able to use to level up your characters. So do be sure you're getting some of these materials. Now, if you're trying to get yourself some of the materials you need, you can come to the pharmacy store and talk to Rosemary, the NPC that does not look like an NPC. And she's going to give you some of the flowers you need in order to level up your characters. As you can see right here, there's going to be quite a big assortment of materials that you're going to be able to buy from her, and they're going to help you out a ton. So do be sure to go ahead and do that. Alright, and that pretty much wraps up everything there is to know regarding Cantarella. I do hope you've enjoyed the video and it helps you guys prepare for when this character drops. I just want to remind you I will be doing 2 Battle Pass giveaways and 4 Lunite giveaways on the day that Cantarella goes live here on stream. So do be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and to participate, all you got to do is drop a like and comment on this video. I'll see you guys on the next one, and peace.